Last Friday, right after you made the classic mistake of deploying your code on a Friday, the world's most popular JavaScript framework, Next.js, got slapped with a critical 9.1 security advisory. This exploit? It's bad. Really bad. It lets attackers completely bypass authentication and authorization in Next.js middleware. Imagine you're running a SaaS product. Normally, your middleware would have something like, if you haven't paid yet, redirect to the pricing page. But apparently, Vercel, the company behind Next.js, has been vibe coding its security logic lately. Because now, an attacker can just say, "No, thanks," to your auth checks and waltz right into your app without paying a dime. And of course, this blunder has Next.js and React haters absolutely losing it. They're screaming, "I told you so," from their mom's basement, while even major companies like Cloudflare are seizing the opportunity to poach customers from Vercel, fueling some glorious tech bro drama on Twitter. But here's what actually matters. If you have a Next.js app in production and you haven't upgraded yet, you might be in serious trouble. So in today's video, we're going to find out just how screwed you really are and break down how the worst Next.js security flaw of all time actually works. First, if you're running an outdated Next.js version, upgrade ASAP. However, if you're not using Next.js middleware or hosting on Vercel or Netlify, you can breathe easy. But if you're self-hosting and relying on Vercel middleware, your app might be dead before this video even ends. Here's how the exploit actually works. Almost every web framework has a concept of middleware, which is basically a layer of code that sits between a request and a response on your server. As the name suggests, it's in the middle, handling generic tasks like logging, error handling, and, most importantly, authorization. So you don't have to write the same logic over and over again for every route. Sounds great, right? Well, not this time. Security researchers, while dumpster diving through some old Next.js code, stumbled upon a header that lets attackers completely skip any Next.js middleware they want. All they need to do is figure out the middleware's name and add it to this special middleware sub-request header. And guess what? Middleware names are super easy to guess, thanks to predictable naming conventions. And that's what makes this terrifying. It's an insanely easy exploit to pull off. If your website relies on middleware for authorization, this vulnerability could lead to serious damage. But that's not even the end of the mess. Cloudflare tried to roll out a rule to automatically block the use of this header, but that backfired. They had to make it opt-in only because it started triggering false positives with third-party auth providers like Supabase. Now, here's the real kicker. Even though this bug is really bad, the biggest controversy isn't about the exploit itself, it's about how long it took to fix. The vulnerability was first reported to the Next.js team on February 27th. But guess when it actually got patched? March 18th. That's way too long for a security issue this severe, especially when the fix wasn't even that complicated. And of course, where there's chaos, there's corporate drama. The CEO of Cloudflare saw this as the perfect chance to flex their new tool, a one-click migration that takes your Next.js project from Vercel and deploys it on Cloudflare instead. His pitch? Unlike Vercel, Cloudflare actually cares about security. But Vercel's CEO wasn't having it. He clapped back by reminding everyone about Cloudbleed, one of the worst security disasters of all time, and even threw in a jab about Cloudflare's supposedly weak DDoS protection. Naturally, the Cloudflare CEO responded in the most professional way possible, with a meme. And the whole exchange was just peak tech bro cringe. Now, personally, I've used both Vercel and Cloudflare and think we should all just get along. But maybe the real solution is to just skip the drama altogether and go with a Linux server from a provider like Hostinger, the sponsor of today's video. With Hostinger, you get fully managed hosting and virtual private servers where you can deploy anything, including Next.js, for under $10 a month. You get predictable pricing, 2 CPUs, and 8 gigabytes of RAM, and when you spin up a server, you can even configure it with Coolify, which makes hosting Next.js on your own VPS almost painless. So, if you're looking for freedom and an awesome dev experience,